Fox News alert, TMZ is reporting ransom money may have just exchanged hands.
About 12 minutes ago, we saw activity in that account. That's what I can't talk about. There are reasons I can't, but all I can say is there is now activity in that Bitcoin account.
A local Tucson news station is reporting that less than $300 was put into the Bitcoin account, but there may be more coming. Meanwhile, SWAT team and bomb squad units have just been deployed in the hunt for Nancy Guthrie. They were seen peeling out of their Tucson headquarters. They were on the move and we're tracking them. Police have been all over Savannah's sister's neighborhood this afternoon. FBI agents going door to door, asking Annie's neighbors for permission to search their property and looking for items that might have been disposed of or hidden. Annie Guthrie and her husband Tommaso were the last ones to see Nancy before she went missing. TMZ is reporting that investigators believe whoever took Nancy was from the Tucson area. And that manhunt seems to have zeroed in on a tiny radius surrounding her daughter's block. Annie and Tommaso's home is a 10-minute drive from Nancy's house, and authorities have been scrutinizing the locals. Earlier today, landscapers, pool cleaners, and contractors who had access to Nancy's house were swabbed for DNA. And after 10 days in the dark, we now have a possible suspect. The FBI released these photos this afternoon, showing a masked man at Nancy's door the night she disappeared. These photos were obtained from Nancy's doorbell camera, the one that went missing. The suspect is seen approaching the door with a ski mask, gloves, and a backpack. The backpack appears to be full. Was it full of valuables after a string of robberies, or was it packed with materials used to subdue and abduct Miss Guthrie? Nobody knows. The bag has some reflective bands on the straps, and after closer analysis, detectives will probably be able to identify the exact type of backpack and maybe where it was even purchased. At one point, the camera caught a reflection coming from the subject's mouth. It could be a flashlight that he held between his teeth to keep his hands free. Maybe those are braces, maybe that's a gold tooth, maybe a grill. The suspect also had a holstered handgun in the front of his belt. It's hard to tell if that's a long-barreled gun or if the gun doesn't even really fit the holster. But keeping a gun strapped to your jock like that, amateur hour. The way the man moves, could be wrong here, but doesn't look like a professional. Look at when he walks up to the camera. At first he tries covering it with his hand, and then he looks back, looks around, and uproots a plant and tries to obscure the lens with it. Now, if he'd cased the house properly, he would have come prepared with some black tape or something better than Nancy's vegetation. And just by the way he's wandering around with the gun like that and the big backpack, he doesn't seem ex-military. The Guthrie family told the FBI they didn't recognize this person on the doorbell camera, and that's when the Bureau released the footage to get the public's help. You can see a closely shaved mustache and thin eyebrows. Hard to tell if the suspect's white, black, Hispanic, but the feds will conduct their analysis, get his height, weight, other features. Nancy's Nest doorbell didn't have the ability to record footage, so it took the FBI to come in and subpoena Google to find the missing footage in the cloud. Today was the break the FBI had been looking for. Earlier today, the White House weighed in.
It's heartbreaking to see now this footage really bring to life a story we've all been reading about. And again, we're just praying for the safety of Nancy Guthrie and that she will return home soon. And the president directed me to please encourage all Americans with any information to call the FBI. And we hope that this case will come to a positive resolution as soon as possible.
Savannah still has hope that her mother's alive. She posted this earlier, quote, "We believe she is still alive. Bring her home." The FBI obviously believes their new leads from the new video are hot and a matter of life or death. Wherever bomb squad and SWAT are headed now, and Annie Guthrie's neighborhoods are the two areas of intense focus tonight. We pray that Nancy Guthrie's found alive and whoever did this is brought to justice. Trace Gallagher is our chief breaking news correspondent. Trace.
You know, it's interesting, Jesse, you talk about Savannah Guthrie and posting her message today saying they believe their mom is still alive. She believes her mom is still alive. But you kind of have to go back to yesterday when when Savannah Guthrie posted that message yesterday asking for the public's help. Everybody was kind of confused, like, what help does the public need here? And now we kind of know. The FBI posted this video today, the pictures, the video, the separate video. This was kind of the biggest break in the case. And since then, the FBI has reported a huge increase in the number of tips they have gotten to their line. And because of that, apparently some of these tips were at least worth following up to the extreme, because you had a number of FBI agents, by our count, anywhere from 12 to 20 FBI agents that went into Annie Guthrie's neighborhood, kind of canvassing the place, not to Annie Guthrie's house, mind you, but to other homes. They were knocking on doors, asking neighbors about their security cameras, their Ring cameras, and then going around talking to different neighbors, showing them pictures, as well as going into the backyard of one of the neighbors and kind of going through some of the shrubbery and the brush, looking for what? We have no idea. And then you still have that presence right now in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood, but you also had, as you noted, you had some of the SWAT team cars that actually pulled out of the parking lot. And mind you, pulled out for the first time since our crews have been at the sheriff's station, which is the better part of 9 days. They pulled out and they headed southeast, sometimes some 40, 45 miles away. What they're looking for, we have no idea. But it wasn't just SWAT team vehicles. It was also a bomb squad vehicle. It was a command center vehicle. We had the law enforcement helicopter flying around, television news helicopter flying around, all kind of focusing on this area, not only Nancy's house and Annie's house, but then the helicopters left. It is unclear if they made their way down the Interstate 10 southeast, but that is still yet to be determined. But this clearly has provided, Jesse, some much needed momentum to this case, because they are following things up. You mentioned the Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin is the first time that we have heard that this Bitcoin wallet has been activated, has been opened since this investigation began. Yes, $300, not much in there, but the question is, who opened it? Was this the FBI? They certainly had the information on how to get in there. Did the FBI go in to this Bitcoin wallet? Were they putting cash in there as a lure? We have no idea, because a lot of these things are unanswered, but we do know that right now the activity is still going, and it is showing no signs of slowing down, Jesse.
Okay, Trace, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. The fact that we're going to get maybe some breaks here is just incredible. Let's bring in John Nance, as a retired federal investigator and former FBI supervisory special agent. When you hear the SWAT team and the bomb squad and a command post being dispatched, could that mean they're looking to recover Nancy? Could there be an armed standoff, possibly a hostage standoff? What would you expect?
Well, anytime you have SWAT deployed, you're looking at, an imminent arrest. You could have a hostage rescue situation, but it's obviously indicative of something major developing in the case. SWAT isn't present just simply to be present. So it's a clear indication that there has been some actionable intelligence delivered very recently.
And that's also sparked a lot of curiosity towards the sisters' neighborhood. We're hearing reports the FBI is going door to door right around Annie's house. What could that mean?
Well, I think they're simply following up on leads since the photographs have come out. And by the way, thank God for the Trump administration and Kash Patel's reprioritization and revamping of the FBI's priorities. We're seeing tremendous work being done by the FBI. And this is a case in point. Going to Google and actually reconstructing this video footage is a tremendous bit of forensic work. So I think that we're going to see something develop here pretty soon. And I think that the activity we're seeing around Annie's house has to do with a flurry of leads that have come in.
And what can you pick up just by digesting the footage from the doorbell? I mean, the backpack's full. He's got some very awkward looking gloves. The way that the gun is strapped to the